Welcome to this explainer. Okay, be honest. Have you ever bought a book, felt incredibly smart just for swiping your card, and then literally never opened it? Yeah, we've all been there. Today, we're diving into what we call the reading paradox. Look, we live in an era where infinite information is just sitting right in our pockets. But despite having all this access, actual life transformation, it's still incredibly rare. So let's rethink how we're consuming information and figure out why reading alone doesn't actually change lives. Just picture this for a second. Imagine two people who both read 50 books a year. They absolutely love books, spend hours immersed in them, and they have access to the exact same source material. Yet their lives end up looking vastly different. Imagine one person sitting on top of this massive, completely stationary tower of books. They aren't going anywhere. But then the other person walks right past them. They're holding just one single book, but they're carrying a briefcase completely stuffed with cash. One reader becomes a millionaire. The other stays exactly where they started.
So what's going on here? Why do their lives end up so incredibly different when two people put in the exact same amount of time? What's creating this massive gap? Well, the answer isn't about how much they read or how fast they can speed read through the pages. The defining difference, the real game changer, is what they do the absolute second they close the book.
That leads us right into our first section, information versus transformation. A lot of folks out there just collect information. It's like they think simply owning a book automatically downloads success into their brain. They stack their shelves to look impressive on video calls, right? But if we're being completely honest with ourselves, reading without dedicated reflection is ultimately just entertainment. Sure, it feels super productive, but without thinking deeply about it, it's really no different than binge watching your favorite TV show. And here is the harsh truth of it all. True transformation only happens when the data you consume actually alters your real-world behavior and decisions. Look, information is literally everywhere, but it's completely useless until it forces a shift in how you operate day to day. If you read some groundbreaking strategy and then wake up the next morning and do things exactly the same way you did yesterday, zero transformation has taken place.
So how do we fix this? To turn reading from simple entertainment into actual compounding learning, you absolutely have to hit pause. After every single reading session, force yourself to answer these three questions. Number 1, what surprised me? Number 2, what challenged my existing beliefs? And number 3, what can I actually apply this week? These aren't just passing thoughts, okay? This is exactly how you force information out of the abstract and ground it firmly into reality.
Moving on to Section 2, Action Creates Value. Think about this quote for a minute. One practical idea implemented is often worth more than an entire library left unused. Execution is literally everything. Think back to that millionaire reader we talked about earlier, the one with just one book. They didn't need 50 books to succeed. They just extracted one highly practical idea from a single book and implemented it relentlessly. Because at the end of the day, action is the only mechanism that actually creates value. This brings us to Section 3, Building Knowledge Assets. If you want to level up, one of the most powerful things you can possibly do after reading is to teach what you've learned to someone else. Teaching forces you to truly grasp the material. I mean, you can't explain a complex concept clearly if you only kind of understand it, right? By sharing it, you're simultaneously building your own authority while providing genuine, actionable value to the people around you. Let's break the numbers down. The actual reading, the time spent physically staring at the words on a page, that's really just the tip of the iceberg. It accounts for maybe 10% of the total value. The remaining 90% of a book's true worth, that comes from asset creation. It comes from taking those raw ideas and packaging them up to share with the world. Because here's the secret. Every single book you read has the potential to become a reusable knowledge asset. That one book can become a YouTube episode, a blog post, a detailed course lesson, a workshop, a consulting framework, a social media series, or even a brand new digital product. Knowledge grows exponentially in value when it's shared in useful forms. When you do this, you're no longer just a consumer, you're a creator. And that perfectly sets up our final section, the true destination. We really need to fundamentally shift our mindset around this whole topic. Books are not trophies, knowledge is not decoration for your living room, and the act of reading itself, that is not the destination. It's just the vehicle. If we treat finishing a book as the finish line, we are completely missing the point of ever opening it in the first place. The real objective of consuming any source material is your own personal evolution. The true goal is to become someone who thinks more clearly about the world, someone who solves much bigger problems, creates significantly greater value,
and ultimately helps others do the exact same thing.
So to make absolutely sure you're hitting those goals, I want you to adopt this golden rule. It's the rule of 1. Every single book you read should leave you with exactly one thing. Just one. One changed habit, one new skill developed, one better decision made, or one highly valuable idea you can immediately use. If you leave a book with less than that, you are quite literally leaving value on the table.
As we wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with a thought, a bit of a challenge really, to ensure your next reading session is a stepping stone and not just pure entertainment. Take a look at your current reading list and ask yourself right now, what is the one habit you will change from the next book you read? Don't just flip the page. Close the book, answer that question, and get to work.